In this video, we're going to be giving every DLC fighter in Smash Ultimate 4 brand new alternate costumes. These characters got a lot more attention to detail than some others, yet there's still so much missed potential for their palette swaps that not many people seem to be talking about. So today I'm going to share with you some of my most wanted new ideas, and I also took a bunch of your suggestions as well. We've done this for every single fighter in Smash so far this series, and I think we saved the best set of characters for last. Let's go. Now you may think we'd be starting with Joker, but even though he wasn't a paid character, Piranha Plant was still DLC, hurting the competition in Smash, but not hurting your wallet, gotta love him. Before we craft any new alts though, I feel we need to examine his current outfits to see what's referenced already, what still needs to be referenced, and to try not to duplicate many colors to add some variety. Plant's default look is based on his appearance in Super Mario 3D World, as this is the same pot from that game. His green look is based on the classic plant design from Super Mario Bros. With the fitting classic green pipe for him to come out of, sort of establishing what's going to be the pattern here, half the alts in the pot, half in a warp pipe. The yellow alt is really creative. It's based on the Glad Piranha Plant from Super Princess Peach, and its pot has a slight pink hue to reference that. It's pretty cool. In a similar vein, the pink alt is based on the Pee-wee Piranha from Galaxy and has the dark bluish pipe color to reference the outer space setting. The black alt is based on the inky Piranha Plant from 3D Land, and the pot has a reddish hue, although I don't think it references anything. I feel it actually would have made more sense for this one to have the green pipe as the only one that they're actually shown coming out of in Mario Tennis Open, but it's not a really big deal. That's not the case for the gray alts up next though. We have a really neat one here based on the bone versions of the enemy from New Super Mario Bros. 2, and they have a golden pipe to come out of here referencing the theme of the game, which is to collect as many coins as possible. His purple alt could be based on many different iterations of the enemy where this look appears, but my best guess for a concrete reference is the Piranha Creeper, because that would explain the brown pot to reference them being underground often in games. Finally, the blue alt is based on his cave sprite in Super Mario Bros. With the brown warp pipe possibly referencing the brown pot that the blue piranhas are found in during the battle mode of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, although it could just be a coincidence. Definitely a great set of references here regardless, so let's try to live up to that with our new creations. First up, since the fire shooting abilities were kinda snubbed from Plant's moveset, let's at least reference the Fire Piranha Plant here from 3D Land. This one's gonna be brown with orange spots and a bold red pipe as it's common in the newer Mario games. We don't have a darker blue alt yet, and I love the idea of referencing the Frost Piranha Plant from the Thousand Year Door, so let's go for that here. Royal blue on the plant, Ozron on the stem, and a light blue pipe because it's, being frozen over, calling back to the light blue pipes which appeared in Mario 3 as well. And we're not done with the Thousand Year Door references yet either, as one of the most highly requested alts was definitely the Putrid Piranha, which is a darker yellow with red spots and purple teeth. I get it, man, it just looks really cool, and to go along with these purple teeth, we're gonna get a purple pot to reference the cool looking pipes from the original Super Mario Bros. Finally, and this one's kinda unique, but we're going with a muncher here. This alt will be all black with an orange stem and a gray pipe, since it's one of the only classic designs of the pipe to not be referenced yet. Now, undoubtedly one of the most hyped characters for many in the Smash community was Joker. He received 6 alts based on his Phantom Thief appearance in Persona 5, with color swaps representing the main color motif of Revelations Persona, Persona 3, 4, a pretty cool reversal of his normal colors, the Phantom Thief attire of Crow, and 2 school-based outfits, the first being black based on the Shujin Academy uniform, and the white one resembling his summer uniform. So while there's some simple inspirations given already, at least some of them look alright. There's definitely some potential to improve though. Let's stick with the current theme of 3 Phantom looks and 1 school look just to be consistent. Let's start by getting a new color in there. We're gonna get a green outfit and orange hair based on Inkling, Futaba, one of the most popular characters from Persona 5, and definitely requested a lot in the comments. Next up, I think it would be cool to get a pink coloration based on Haru Akamura from Persona 5. I mainly chose this one because getting more color variety in there would be great, and an unexpected one for a character like this anyway. One that would be really cool that we've just got to include here is Shadow Joker from Persona 5 Strikers. He becomes all black with orange hair and accents in a similar vein to Dark Link and similar looks that are already in Smash, so it fits pretty well. Finally, for the school outfit, I think we should reference Yuna Rokami by giving Joker the outfit of Persona 4's protagonist. While it doesn't get a new color in the clothing, rather just being a black and white mix this time around, we will get the hair changed to gray and a very highly requested reference from the comments included at least. Hero's set of alternate costumes has 4 separate renders of the character with each having 2 colorations. The first is based on Luminary from Dragon Quest XI with a red alt that resembles 10. A blue Erdrick alt is up next, this referencing Dragon Quest III with a white and purple one based on Abel from 5. Following this is a green alt based on Solo from 4 with an orange version of it resembling the scion of Erdrick from the first entry of the series. And finally there's a yellowish orange colored alt based based on the hero from Dragon Quest VIII, with a blue version of it resembling the Prince of Midenhall from 2. I think the best way to go for new ideas here is to create one new coloration for each of the 4 hero renders, since I feel it would only really make sense to add 4 new renders if they were starting from scratch, and not adding to what we currently have. First up is a brown and gold alt with pink hair to reference the heroine from Dragon Quest IX with the luminary look. I feel this one would look distinct from the others while also getting another protagonist reference in there. It'd be a good idea. Erdrick is next, and I always thought it'd be cool if they referenced the original NES look for the character with the yellow and blue along with the beige cape. For Solo, I think would be a great fit for the color palette if we use the hero from Dragon Quest VI. The dark blue hair, turquoise, and orange outfit I feel would look pretty cool. And finally, we don't have any coloration like the protagonist from 7, and since 8's look has a head covering already, I feel it's kind of a seamless transition. A mix of darker and lime greens could be really cool here. Now, Banjo was undoubtedly one of the biggest additions to Smash Ultimate, and while his playstyle didn't quite live up to the hype for me, can the same be said for his selection of alternate costumes? Let's find out. After the default, Banjo turns pink to reference Mambo Jumbo, with Kazooie resembling her lighter plumage appearance in Nuts and Bolts. The black alt up next has Banjo's color being based on bottles, while Kazooie resembles a multiplayer color in Banjo-Tooie's Squawk match. I really like this one. Following this is a reddish-brown alt based on Banjo's sister Tootie, with Kazooie again being based on a Squawk match color. The white alt has Banjo resemble Boggy, and Kazooie resemble a real-life Hangwin. This one stands out quite a bit. For the yellow one, I believe this time it's Banjo who gets the color from Squawk match, with Kazooie being based on Terry the Pterodactyl. The blue in Banjo for the next alt could again be based on a look from Squawk match, but it's likely just him being blue and Kazooie being red to match the logo of the series. The final alt is really interesting to me, as it may be 2 references at once. Fans of the series will notice the resemblance to Gruntilda, the main antagonist, which it's undoubtedly based on, but you can't help but also notice the striking parallels to Yooka-Laylee. Green on Banjo, purple on Kazooie, maybe it's also designed to reference the series' spiritual successor of sorts. It could very well be a coincidence though. We've definitely had some interesting standout alts here, and I'd love to continue with that theme while still having some meaningful references, and if we're gonna do that, we've definitely got to start with a Dragon Kazooie alt. This changes Kazooie to a new render with that form from Tooie. I just didn't want to leave Banjo the same, so I made him cyan to call back to the ice key, which is needed to unlock this form in the game. Another very highly requested alt was one based on another N64 title from the time, being Conker's Bad Fur Day. Banjo is referenced in this game, so the connection is already there, and considering Banjo's primary relation to Nintendo came from this time period, it makes a lot of sense to call back to it in this vein, with the orange and blue on Banjo for Conker, and pink and yellow on Kazooie for Barry. A pretty funny new render idea up next would be giving Banjo his suit to reference that look from the end of Nuts and Bolts, with a cute little bow tie on Kazooie. I think this would be great. And finally, there's no red alt for Banjo yet, and the most obvious palette swap idea that's yet to be done is a color swap, so here it is. I think it looks pretty cool to be honest, but we just had to do it regardless. Terry was a cool historical nod for Smash Ultimate to add, and while they certainly didn't get all of the references to his series in the game, does his selection of alternate costumes really shine through to make up for it? Let's find out. Terry's blue outfit keeps the Fatal Fury hat of the default look while changing to the game's standard Player 2 color scheme. His brown outfit is reference to the palette swap from King of Fighters 2002 with a blank hat this time around. The green one has the same inspiration, but the similar looking alt to the default is not, as it's based on his earlier appearances with Neo Geo now appearing on the hat to reference this. The gray look resembles his heavy punch palette from King of Fighter 98, with the hat changing to King of Fighters like it is in the 3rd entry of the series. Black is based on an alt of his in Fatal Fury Wild Ambition, with the metal plate on his hat referencing the Fatal Fury animated films. And finally, the yellow outfit completely references his Color 6 palette from King of Fighters 14 with the hat and all. A decent variety of looks here, but not too much wild. Let's see what we can add. First up, by far the highest requested Terry alt was his Garu Mark of the Wolves look, which I'll admit is pretty cool. It'll remove his hat and add a different jacket, although we are reusing a color for it. A new color we could implement, however, is purple, with an alt based on Robert Garcia from Art of Fighting. Another cool look could be red and black this time around, based on the character Rock Howard, one of the most popular SNK characters. And finally, I think a pink alt would be unique color-wise, and it could be a reference to the theming of SNK Heroines Tag Team Battle, one of the series' most prominent modern games for its impeccable gameplay, I assume. And next up, we have the best new character added to Smash Ultimate, this being Byleth. Everyone was so happy upon the reveal, right? Well, regardless of the fan opinion on the character joining the battle, do their alternate costumes at least make up for it? Well, the first two established the male and female pattern to follow with the standard looks for the character, with blue, red, and yellow versions of these following it based on Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude, the 3 house leaders from the game who have weapon references in the moveset, so they pretty much had to be here. The first of the 2 green female Byleth alts is based on Sothis, another prominent character from 3 houses. And for the next 2, I mean, the game came out 2 years ago, so I think think I wouldn't be ruining it for everyone by describing the last two looks, but let's just say they're slightly related to the last one, and I'll leave it at that. I piss off Fire Emblem fans enough in these videos. I think promoting spoilers might push that too far, but they do indeed have an inspiration behind them. Would be a shame if the comments shared that information though, and how wouldn't it? For some new ones here, first up I think we've got to reference Yuri, right? While the whole Three Houses aspect was obviously promoted a lot, there are 4 lords, and we should definitely reference him for the first male look. Also, the purple hair with the white and black has definitely got to be one of my favorite color schemes. Now, I know we already have a ton of green-haired alts, but one based on Lady Ray I feel needs to happen for female Byleth too. This one will obviously be a standout due to the white and beige outfit being a contrast though. Geralt is another prominent character from the game, being the father to Byleth and all, so it only makes sense to get an alt with his blonde hair, dark orange, and silver outfit. And finally, I think it would be awesome to see a palette swap based on Kranya, one of the antagonists from the game. The orange hair with the black and purple throughout the outfit would look really cool. Next up is Min Min, another universally beloved character, right? Let's see what kind of alts they gave to one of ARM's most popular characters. And well, since ARM's already has 4 alts for each character, her first 4, including the default look, are based on them, being the light blue and pink outfit, the red and white one, and the yellow and black look. These all obviously needed to be there, and they were. Let's move on. After these, things get a bit different, with Min Min's blue and turquoise alt being somewhat based on Ninjara's default look, with the next one giving Min Min's outfit the colors of her dragon arm sort of, combined with one of Twintail's alts as well. Following that, we have a pink one partially based on Kid Cobra's default look, with one of Ribbon Girl's alts included as well. And finally, we have one based on her Phoenix arm and one of Bite and Bark's alts, giving her this black outfit. So once we got past the standard looks, things were a bit weird, but also more interesting. So let's see if we could kind of live up to that. First up, I think it'd be cool to get a red, yellow, and black one based on one of Springman's alternate costumes and arms. This guy's the mascot of the game and should at least be referenced somewhere, right? Following that, we're gonna get a golden alt with pink and blue highlights referencing the Megawatt arm, one she actually uses in Smash, as well as one of Helix's cooler alts. Following that, I think it'd be pretty cool to get a white alt with black and purple to reference Master Mummy, the final of the original cast to get a reference here. And last but not least, we're gonna get a Dr. Coil alt, one of the main antagonists from ARMS. We'll use the blue and silver alt that she has because it would be a nice standout from the rest of Min Min's palette swaps here, and it also has orange highlights to call back to the Ram, the final of Min Min's Smash arms to reference. Moving on to Minecraft Steve, or technically Steve and Alex, as we'll see with the given alternate costumes. But did they live up to the massive amount of hype behind the character's reveal with these palette swaps? Let's find out. The first set of alts gives both Steve and Alex a tennis outfit. This is taken from the default skin pack in the first edition of Minecraft's Legacy Console Edition. And from the same game, they would end up taking Scottish Steve and Swedish Alex. Kind of lazy inspiration-wise with these last 4 in my opinion, but hey, at least that's not the case for the last 2. We get a Steve render with the design of the zombie from the game, and Alex with the Enderman look. Obviously being much shorter than they are in actual Minecraft, but still both of these are awesome references. So there seems to be a lot of hit or miss here. Let's see what we can do, giving 2 new alts to Steve and 2 to Alex to maintain the pattern. And even though I love that you guys give new ideas for me to create here, no, and I mean no, I am not doing Dream SMP alts. I thought it started out as a joke at first, but you will not believe how many comments throughout this series I've got for this, and it seems like some people seriously thought it would be fun, but there's no way Nintendo was ever doing that, or should either. Trust me, I think you'll like these though. Our first new alt is going to be the highly requested Tuxedo Steve, an extremely popular request from fans before the character released, but sadly it wasn't included. Scottish Steve kinda looks similar to it, but it's not the complete reference. Now we have it. For Alex, we're going with a piglin coloration from one of the most popular mobs in the game. It would also give us a nice pink look too, so I feel it's a win-win. Following that might be my favorite creation for this character though, being a modification of the zombie alt to resemble the Husk. This was highly requested in the comments, and I think it looks really cool and could have definitely been a fan favorite if added in. Finally, we're gonna get a skeleton alt. It could be a new render, but like the Enderman, could just as easily be incorporated into Alex's design, and yeah, this is one of the game's most popular enemies. It would make for a very recognizable and unique costume. Moving on to the character who personifies true evil, the villain of Smash Ultimate's DLC, Sephiroth. How did his set of alternate costumes turn out? Let's see. After the default look, which is based on his Advent Children appearance, we have a purple coloration of it, which resembles the first class soldiers from Final Fantasy VII. The green alt is a reference to Midgar Zolom, a giant snake which Sephiroth kills in the game. His red look references Genesis, the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. The white costume is based on Rufus Shinra, another antagonist from 7. Blue possibly references the third class soldier's look. And then we have shirtless Sephiroth. This is the look that he takes on during the final battle with him in the original game, and it's a cool reference for sure. With the reddish looking version of it possibly still referencing Genesis. Overall, I found the inspiration behind these costumes pretty fitting and interesting, however I wish the colors were a little bolder. Let's see what we could do going forward. First up, we're going to get a bluish cyan alt based on Genova, another antagonist from the game. I wasn't going to go full blue here since this isn't a look that Sephiroth actually has, but I couldn't help myself, it would just look so cool. Following that, we're going to get the look you all requested for. Yes, this is a Cloud alt. We're changing Sephiroth's hair to blonde and giving him more of a purple hue to reference Cloud's original appearance, since this was at least more unique than not changing the color at all. Then we're going to give him a new render based on his Kingdom Hearts appearance, one of my favorite appearances of him for sure. And finally, it wouldn't be right if we didn't get another version of shirtless Sephiroth, and I chose Aerith as the color inspiration here for the pink look, as it would certainly be a nice standout for sure. Our next character, or characters I should say, have a more unique situation with their Smash appearance than almost anyone else, since their default appearance in Smash is actually modified from their original games to comply with Smash Ultimate's E10+ rating. Pretty lame in my opinion that they had to censor them, but the Smash design actually got incorporated into Xenoblade 2 DLC, which I found pretty funny. In terms of the rest, we did get some unique looks here, with the first Aquamarine look being based on Numa, the ascended form of Pyra and Mythra. Following that, we get a color swap, which is pretty cool. After that, we get an alt that gives Pyra a bronze look based on the Grimati cloak that she wears in Chapter 2 of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, with Mythra's colors being inspired by Nia. The next purple alt is really cool. It's based on Poppy Cutie Pie, the third form of the character. Sakurai said he wanted to give him a villainous look with this alt, and hey, he certainly delivered. The blue and white look up next is described by Sakurai to have a quote, tricolor aeronautical motif, whatever that means, and is likely Smash original, even though I've seen people point out there's some slight similarity in the color scheme of Xenogears, so you never know. After that, we have an alt that simply makes their color bolder for really no reason, and then we have a gold and silver alt, colors that are often paired together, but I don't really think there's much else behind this decision. It's certainly a nice look though. A very hit or miss character to me alts wise. Some of these I love, and others just leave me wondering why. But I think we can make up for this with some new alternate costumes. For the first new one, I think it'd be cool to reference two other Xenoblade Chronicles 2 original characters. For this, we get Morad for Pyra and Brickhead for Mythra. They were probably the most popular characters requested in this vein to reference here, and the look would be kinda unique. Following that, I think we should definitely get a Shulk and Fiora duo of references here, two iconic characters from the original Xenoblade Chronicles referenced with the game's sequel as representatives in Smash. Very fitting. Next up might be my favorite new idea, with this being a reference to Cosmos and Elma. These are both characters from Xenosaga and Xenoblade Chronicles X respectively, who are more distant from the two main titles in the series, but have such cool designs to reference here. I love the look of both characters, so having this in would not only represent more of the franchise, but provide a great outfit too. And finally, we're going to be getting ults based on Zelda and Sheik. This was such a missed opportunity to me. These guys were the first characters to introduce the mechanic of swapping between two different characters during gameplay, and while they don't possess that gimmick anymore, it has lived on through Pyra and Mythra, yet they don't reference it in Smash. The fact that they don't call back to it is pretty lame, but we can get it here, and I really like the look too. Next up is Kazuya, a pretty surprising choice to include to me, but hey, at least he's got some unique costumes as we'll see coming up. First up, we get the two bases for the rest of his costumes established, with 4 being recolors of his Tekken 5 and 6 look, with the others being recolors of his suit and tie render, which is based on his more modern appearance in 7. The first recoloring of the original look is red, based on Kazuya's Player 1 outfit from Tekken 5, Dark Resurrection, with the first suit recoloring being silver, which is inspired by his Player 2 outfit from the same game. Kazuya's blue look is based on his Player 2 outfit from the original Tekken and Tekken 2. Purple is based on his secret outfit from 2 and subsequent appearances where he has it. The black outfit is based on Jin Azama, Kazuya's son, who was introduced in the 3rd game in the series. And finally, there's a golden outfit which resembles Kazuya's gold costume from Tekken 7. Some cool references and looks here for sure, so let's see if we can live up to those high standards set, with our first new idea being a version of his regular outfit with him getting dark green pants to reference Jack, another longtime character from the Tekken series. The red hair would be pretty unique too. After that, we'll get a suit look based on Kazuya's devil form in Tekken Tag Team Tournament 2. I feel this would not only be a cool look, but it's also a game that hasn't been directly referenced yet either. After this, we've got to get a Hayachi alt, right? Kazuya's father, who was apparently considered for Smash 4's roster as well, but never got in, and we can have a great reference to that here, and we'll give him the orange from his 7 appearance to provide a new color. Finally, we're gonna get a pink suit based on Alicia from Tekken. A good excuse to get this pink suit in, even though we're really just using her pink hair as an inspiration for it, but I think it'd be worth it here. The final DLC fighter is Sora, who actually has an interesting basis for his alternate costumes, with 4 different looks of the character represented, kinda like Hero. There's his standard look from the first Kingdom Hearts, his appearance from 2, his appearance from Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, a nice touch as this one actually released on a Nintendo console, and finally one based on his Kingdom Hearts 3 look, with 4 alts going on to recolor these renders. The first of these is a completely grayskull alt as he appears in the Timeless River world in 2, which in turn is based on the original Mickey Mouse cartoons that were black and white as well. I think this one looks really cool. Following that is a red one based on his Valor form from 2, his blue look is based on the Wisdom form from the same game, and finally the white alt resembles his ultimate form from Kingdom Hearts 3. Kinda fitting that the last alternate costume in Smash Ultimate is based on this, really. But now we're gonna ruin that by adding some more, one for each of these renders. First up, we're gonna get a green color costume with light blue accents based on his Blitz look in Kingdom Hearts 3. This will get a different color in there while also being a nice modern reference. Following that in the Kingdom Hearts 2 style, we're gonna get another new color in there with an orangish yellow alt resembling his master form from the same game. For the next one, I'd like to see a black, gray, and white look to be based on Master Zahlenhort from Kingdom Hearts 2. A unique reference from the rest of the selection since we don't have any villain ones in there yet. And finally, we're gonna get a black alt with red eyes based on the Rage ability from Kingdom Hearts 3. I debated on including it because we already have the grayscale alt, but not only is this gonna be on a different render, but man, it just looks so cool and I feel it's unique enough to be justified. Sometimes you just gotta add in the fan service, you know? And with all that, with over 2.5 hours of video content, over 300 new costumes created, and thousands more submissions from all of you, we've done it. We've imagined what it would be like if every single fighter in Smash Ultimate got new ults. I'm so happy we got through them all. If this is your first time seeing this series, there's a playlist which I'll link on screen that's got every episode in there if you like this type of stuff, and if you want to ensure you don't miss more content like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe.